How easy do you think it is to become a rapper now?
Too easy.
There was another rapper who just died earlier this week or the other day or something, and I've never heard of him. And that's like seems to be the case lately, where it's something happens, or even just like something on the radio or something. I never heard of any of these dudes.
I don't know no one anymore. Not no one.
Well, even when I try to listen to the music, almost all of them seem like they sound the same to me, like robots with no teeth.
Do they still do like the auto tune?
Yeah,
still a big thing.
It's like worse. It's you don't even like in the old days. I don't want to like an old head here, but like the pre-internet days, you had to shop your demos around. You had to sell out of your trunk your CDs. You had to actually make physical appearances at places and rap against other people and get into rap ciphers. Like you had to get your name out there. You started on your own block, then you went to the next block, and you went through the whole city. Now you just go in your mom's basement and then you just make some shitty song, and then you blow up on SoundCloud and get face tattoos and ice cream cones and shit, and then you're famous. Like, no effort.
At least it seems like a lot with those guys that they get like their moment and they burn out.
I would say, for the most part, it's like a separate genre. It should be considered a separate genre.
I didn't know this, but I heard the other day that, your favorite rapper, Lil Wayne, he's fallen so far that he was on like that Masked Singer show.
He got eliminated first, I heard.
Yeah, so
no auto-tune on that show, so
what's that tell you? Whenever like that's what he's
like the godfather of mumble rap, but even Lil Wayne is like 1,000 times better than the shitty new dudes, which is really sad because like now when I hear a song from one of the fucking rappers I used to just hate, I'm like, oh, that dude is terrible. I would never listen to him. Now I listen to one of those like the Yin Yang Twins or something. I'm like, hey, shit's all right. Because the new stuff is so bad, which really sucks too. Because like a lot of like the beats and stuff they use, are good, and I think that's why they're so popular. Because people just get on drugs and you don't really listen to the words or anything. But it's like, if you can get those kind of beats and put them on, like give them to somebody who can rap, that would be awesome. But it's not the way it goes. I don't know. It's the new era just is poop. It's poop. It's just like everything else now. It's poop.
Yeah.
And then, but this is what fucking is crazy to me. Like, we have kids now who are like 20 years old who were born when we were like getting into different rap music and stuff. Like, here's a good example. Like Eminem.
Yeah.
His most popular album, I think, was 2000. And then, like, 8 Mile, I think, came out in, like, 2004 or something? Around that time?
Yeah, because I think we were still in school, so yeah.
There are literally, like, 17 and 18-year-olds now who weren't even born when that stuff came out. Like, oh, God. So so all they know is this new shit. Like, so when they're coming of age, it's just the mumble rap. So that's what they think is music. And now I know how, like, our parents' generation probably feels.
Yeah.
So we had Bob Dylan. Like, yeah, well, fuck Bob Dylan. But I'd rather listen to Bob Dylan than any of this shit. It's a joke, man. Goddamn joke. Hey there, party people. You are listening to the Drunken Pen Writing Podcast, DPW DBS edition. Sorry. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Sometimes I got mental problems, man. Yes, this is a Drunken Bullshit episode we were supposed to do 2 weeks ago. And once again,
time
constraints. So, since you're listening to this now, which will be, who the fuck knows when I put this out, it's going to be like 3 weeks out. Might even be March, who knows. So this episode pretty much doesn't even matter, but just for shits and giggles, we're going to do our review of the Astronomicon we went to in, what was that, February 7th?
7th, yeah. 7th, 8th, and 9th, I think.
Only almost a month late. I'm your host, Caleb James. With me today, I'm sorry to say this, Spencer, the Detroit Dildo Church. Couldn't think of another D word, sorry. Oh, man.
I like how that's the first D word that pops into your mind.
Sir, that wasn't the first D word. That was the only D word that popped into my mind. So, we went to Astronomicon, and boy howdy was that an adventure. It was an experience like no other. I mean, It wasn't. Was it our biggest failure as a con? Like, we weren't doing a press gig.
Yeah.
Like, as far as buying stuff and really meeting creators and stuff, I didn't do much of that.
No.
It was a horror convention, horror themed convention, which was cool. But I could not find. We didn't have any artists that were doing commissions. So I brought my art sketchbook that I've been getting horror commissions in every convention, and that was a fail. Everybody was high. They had a weed tent outside. All of Detroit smelled like weed.
Yeah.
I guess that was a high note if you're into that kind of sort of stuff. I've never been around Juggalo culture, so that was an experience. 98% of the people there were Juggalos or Juggalo related.
Yeah.
Everyone was nice. Everyone was so high they kept getting in the way. That was annoying. They had a cool game room.
Yeah.
There were some cool announcements I liked. You're a big fan of Dirk Manning and Twisted, like their comic, the Haunted Highons, and they're coming out with a goddamn TV show.
Yeah, sequel
for Amazon.
Yeah, sequel series and what seems to be an animated TV series.
That's pretty cool news. The Clerks panel was excellent.
Yes, that was super fun.
Which I don't know if you saw this, just a little diversion. Because we got to see Randall and Dante, and they were funny as fuck. That was a great panel. But did you see LG Rogers met Kevin Smith? She got to go to the what's that tour called? The Jay and Silent Bob reboot tour.
No, I didn't.
It was in her area, and her husband went, and they got a picture with him.
Nice.
Yeah, so that
we wanted to do that, but
yeah, it was in Pittsburgh, but it was expensive. Was it like $250 or something for like the meet and greet pass and all that shit? It's like, in hindsight, I kind of wish I did it. Probably should have, but what are you gonna do? Why is everything gonna be far away? Which Pittsburgh's not really far from us, but whatever. So what would you rate this on a 1 to 5? Getting drunk and
I personally would rate it as a 4, but I also have a bit more of a connection, like with like Twisted and stuff. Like I've been listening to them for shit, like almost like half my life now. Like you know what I mean. So
and you read the comics,
and I read the comics.
Big fan of Dirk Manning.
Yeah, and then Kevin Eastman was there.
Turtle guy.
Yeah, one of the co-creators of the Turtles, so I was able to get some stuff signed, got to watch his panel. I couldn't get a sketch like I wanted to, but he had some already Turtle art available that you could buy, so I bought one of those and stuff, so that stuff was kind of cool. But yes, I didn't like as much, agree with you that I wish there would have been more like artists there or something along that line, because I have a couple different sketchbooks.
See, I would have given it about probably a 3, and for me it was more because I don't really listen to Twisted, but I am a big horror guy.
Yeah,
they had Bill Moseley, guy like did Chucky and Jason, and like they had a bunch of horror people that was cool to see. They had Lloyd Kaufman from the Trauma films, which he was signing, and he had a whole table, all the DVDs, and he, because I'm a big fan of those cheesy B horror, C horror movies and stuff like Toxic Avenger. So, like, all that stuff, like, it would have been a great convention for me just for the horror stuff alone, but it was in a hotel, and it was so crowded. Between the weed smell giving me a headache and just all the fucking people, I couldn't really, like, talk to anybody. I couldn't even hang out at a booth to really look through the stuff. It was just too much. If it was at like a convention hall, that I probably would have been. Because also when we go to conventions, I judge by the convention center. Yeah. Like that goes into my thing. Like we talk about like the Pittsburgh convention. The main plus, which is sad, the main plus for the last Wizard World in Pittsburgh was that you can wander around the whole convention center. You have space. You can take a breather. We're a little more introverted when it comes to being in huge groups. Like I could be around people, but I always need a break here and there. You don't really get that at this convention because if you leave the main floor, you got to go to security 100 times. They did have a game room, like where there's all these video games. That was cool. I spent a lot of time in there. And they even had a tattoo thing, which was also cool if you wanted to get a tattoo. Yeah. If it was just bigger and more spaced out, I think I would have definitely been like a solid 4.5.
Or if we was able to get there soon enough to where we had a room at the actual hotel. Yeah. And you could like just, you go up to the room for a couple minutes or something.
We'll get into that in a second. They also had like one big panel room, but it was outside the security thing, and you had to get your bag checked every single time. And like you were just saying, because we got a hotel that was only like I mean, maybe 10-minute walk, but like a 2-minute drive away from the hotel. But the problem with that was, besides it being wintertime and, ice and snow, it was, of course, the only time it snowed this whole fucking winter was when we left to go there. It was and then we woke up to a blizzard. So that's, like, that kind of sucked. But if we had the hotel, like, in the hotel, at the convention, they had a pool, water park in there and shit. Like, that would have been cool. Could just stay there, walk down, go back to the hotel to chill. But where we were located, we couldn't just, like, leave. Yeah. And because of the parking situation at the hotel, the first day sucked ass. Yeah, the first day, we were, it was like a, 6-hour drive? Yeah.
Well, and we wouldn't get into too much, but we had some circumstances beforehand that kind of put a sour dapper, especially on the first day.
We had a incident in Ohio with some fucking ass-face drivers, and we got a 2-hour delay going into Detroit. So we hit Detroit at rush hour, 5 o'clock, and the convention started at 5. So we were like 5 lanes of traffic I'm driving through, and we get to the hotel to check in, and we immediately have to go to the convention because, it's already, it was 6 o'clock by then because it took almost 45 minutes just to get through a 5-minute stretch of Detroit. Yeah. It was a nightmare. But we check into the hotel, which was like nothing. They don't give a fuck. It was the dirtiest motel. It was a motel, not even a hotel. But like that was fine. But then we drove to the convention, and there's no parking because it's just a hotel. No overflow parking, just nothing. So we end up driving to the fucking 5 minutes or a couple minutes down the road to like the Walmart. Again, fucking snow everywhere. And we just park in a random parking lot, and we walk like, how many minutes to get to the convention. So it's not like we could have even left our book bag anywhere. Yeah. We had to have it, so we had to keep going through the security. So Friday was already a wash. I was from the drive, between the drive and not getting a break between. I was just exhausted. We looked at stuff, but I just wasn't in the mood for conversating or anything. Yeah. So for me, Friday was a wash. We skipped right to Saturday. Saturday, we drove there early, parked at the hotel, went and got breakfast across the street. That was all right. And then, we went in, we did the stuff. We went to a few panels, and other than, like, the security thing of them checking your book bag and stuff, it wasn't too bad. And since we were at the hotel, we could buy some stuff and put it in the car, which was nice. They sold booze. This probably sounds weird to people not from Pennsylvania, but a convention where you can actually do that in a lot of conventions now in Pennsylvania, too, is you can drink. Like, they sell beer and stuff there, and cocktails, which they just started doing at Pennsylvania conventions, like, last year or the year before. But the prices are way cheaper in Detroit. Yeah. Like, you get, like, pretty big draft beer for, like, $3 or something. So everybody was getting drunk up, but everybody was nice. Yeah. I didn't meet one asshole.
No incidents or anything.
Correction, there was one incident. Okay. When I was in the one game room, I took my hoodie off, and I took my 3-day badge off, and somebody fucking jacked it when I wasn't looking, but they just gave me another one. But that was kind of a shitty thing to do. Whatever. And we didn't even end up going Sunday, because we pretty much seen everything.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that would have been kind of cool to see would have been, like, Twisted was doing, like, they have their own podcast, and they were doing, like, an episode there. Yeah. But that was, like, literally the last thing to close out the convention at, like, 4 or 5.
We would have got home till late.
Yeah, we had a hell of a drive, to bring back. And, of course, on the way back, we, get lost for a little bit and stuff. But
also, on Friday night, they had an 80s theme night, which would have been cool to go to. And Saturday night, they had, like, a Twisted performance. And I think Saturday night was, like, karaoke and stuff. They had, like, Dirt Nasty and Mickey Avalon. And it sounded like it was a fun time. But you had to get the VIP. Like, it wasn't just like, even if you had the 3-day passes, you get in. Or if you just paid to get in, you had to have the VIP things, which were, like, $200 or something?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And it was like, we weren't even there for the whole weekend. We ended up leaving early. So that would have been worth it. And again, that was just in the panel room. It wasn't, like, a separate bar or something. Yeah. And where we were in Detroit, there was nothing to fucking go do. Because we weren't going to, like, downtown Detroit to go. No. So, where we were, it was, like, kind of like, there's, like, car places. Not, like, dealers, but, like, car making plants and stuff. Yeah. So, it was, like, an industrial area.
There was hotels. There were, like, restaurants. There were, like...
But not, like, good restaurants,
and like, Rite Aids.
And a Walmart.
Yeah, like that, like, those kind of, like those kind of stores.
But the main road was almost, like, kind of like an interstate-looking road, so it wasn't walk-in friendly, and it wasn't, like, some place we could really drive somewhere. It just wasn't, like, we like to explore the cities, like Columbus. We could just walk to the fucking bars and do stuff. There wasn't really any of that around, and I don't think I'd want to go to a bar in Detroit anyway, really. So, like, yeah, as far as the event goes, I mean, it was fun enough. If it was summertime, I would probably have a lot more fun because, you know, you get bored at the convention or something. But, all right, I'm going to go outside and I will fucking drive somewhere. But when it's fucking winter and there's snow everywhere, you don't want to, like, drive somewhere and have to walk 10 minutes to go to, a restaurant or a bar or whatever event. It's not fun. So I do wish they would have that even in springtime, maybe. Because the only other conventions we did in cold weather were the Cleveland ones in, like, March. Yeah. And even those were kind of like, walking around in the shitty weather. Of course, that's Cleveland, too, so it smells in there. Cleveland smells. What? Cleveland smells? You smell? What are you saying? Cleveland, the city of Cleveland, stinks like turds, is what we are saying, because they have a poop lake river thing.
You're whispering.
No, he's not. Not at all.
Are you okay? You look a little strange.
Fine.
You look like you just got back from Detroit.
I'm fine.
What are you talking about?
Ew, why did you make that noise? Fucking gross. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, don't do that to the mic.
People gotta hear that.
Yeah. Mindy.
Oh.
Oh, come on. Oh. You nasty. So that was our big grand adventure to Detroit. We did stop in Ann Arbor on the way back because even though it was kind of out of the way, we avoided the Detroit traffic and we just wanted to see what Ann Arbor was like. And that might be a place to hit up.
Yeah, that was like a nice little town.
It was like very nice looking, and they had a fucking big ass comic shop and a bunch of cafes and restaurants and fucking parking that wasn't awful. Like, of course, it was a Sunday.
Yeah.
But going there even on a weekday or like a Friday or Saturday, there's probably some stuff to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've only ever been to Grand Rapids area before. I never was on that side of the state. So that was an interesting experience. And you were saying you might want to move to Michigan.
Well, I mean, that seems like it didn't look bad from what we saw over there, you know?
I mean, maybe we got a false impression because I heard winters are bad, but we were literally in the heart of February when we go, and it wasn't. I mean, it snowed like a motherfucker that one night, but they were on it with the roads.
Yeah, Not
like Pennsylvania, we always get all this fucking terrible snow and stuff, and they're just never prepared here.
Yeah.
Every morning you go to work and you have to go through fucking completely icy, snowy streets. Detroit was on it. Maybe in the future, like I said, we were supposed to go to Detroit in the summer to test out the drive and so that probably would have been a good idea because we would have
had a better idea.
Well, not just that, but we could actually went to the main city of Detroit, like drive around, see it, because it didn't look very nice though. It kind of looked like Cleveland, and like with the buildings and stuff, but the main area, like all the surrounding. I mean, we didn't go past 8 Mile, but that's just like trailer parks and stuff. Was it just me, or did a lot of the people from Detroit that were at the convention, they just kind of looked a little rough, like haggard. Like we saw at least 10 people in wheelchairs with no legs.
Yeah,
that seemed like a lot of people with no legs.
Yeah, that's definitely like the most I've seen anybody
not have legs,
or just in wheelchairs at conventions.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's a lot of falling asleep on train tracks up there or what, but it seems like it's a hardy town, I would say. Definitely seems like a blue-collar place. We've got any fans and friends from... Actually, we don't have too many Michigan listeners. Words and words and words and saying shit. As far as the podcast goes, Spencer, we've been fucking picking up from Canada. What do you do? Oh, she's going skating. She got roller skates on now. What do you think you're in the condition to be roller skating around the house?
At least have a helmet, for Christ's sakes.
Where's your knee pads? Roller derby practice. You look very athletic. Oh, no. If you go down, I'm not picking you up.
See, I can do it.
I didn't. Nobody said you couldn't.
Yeah.
Spencer said.
He said it wasn't great.
He was doubting me.
Oh, okay.
I just need a bigger area.
Yeah, that's the kitchen.
I can go in the parking lot back there.
Why not? Who's gonna stop?
I mean, do you want to fall in needles?
What if Ace comes out and barks at me?
That's fine. Fuck Ace. He's a dog.
just let him
Believe it or not, folks, Ace isn't some weird neighbor. He's a dog. That'd be weird if it was just a fat guy named Ace that goes... All right. Well, I guess we should just wrap it up then. Yeah. We only wanted a quick episode. If you folks want to... We should probably post videos of her on Instagram doing this stuff.
Yeah. I would get all the hits.
What are you gonna do when we got the new podcast studio and we actually are filming? We actually start recording us doing this.
This is the drunken part of Drunken Pen Writing.
Yeah, very drunken part. Margaritas and roller skating don't go together well. Oh, good lord. Okay, well, you folks can go to drunkenpenwriting.com if you want to read some stuff. And then, Drunken Pen Writing on Twitter, Drunken Pen Writing on Instagram, Drunken Pen Writing on Facebook. We're just going to get out of here. Oh, God. Please don't hurt me. Why do you have to go behind my chair? Oh, my goodness gracious. Just run over. Or just goes through the garbage can. There's the ambulance just in time.
I like it.
All right, people. Thanks for listening. Very special episode. We should have special episodes, Spencer.
Yeah.
Like a very special episode. Like the old TV shows in the 80s that had very special episodes. Like the one on Different Strokes where Gary Coleman almost got molested by the bike shop owner.
Yeah.
We'll have an episode like that. Spencer got touched. Where did they touch you, Spencer? Don't take candy from strangers. We got the first one. Don't roller skate while drunk. All right. See you later.
Bye.